go.
Okay. You want to burn it?
Good morning. My name is Garry Powe. I'm one of the volunteers at the British Columbia Aviation Museum in the process of recovering the rudder off of our Norseman. The registration on this Norseman is DRE. It was one that was built around 1946, I believe, and is part of our display. We're going to show you the different processes that we're going to use to cover that and get it back on the airplane. So I'm just trimming off a little bit of excess material to give us a little bit better finish here as we're getting ready to set up to put the skin on this side. But I just want to clean up. It's just a process of paying attention to detail more than anything else. Once you get the detail figured out and you actually do it, you can end up with a pretty nice completed project at the end of the day. Now, this stuff that I'm working with right now is called Sleeknite, and it is a heat-sensitive polyester product. And when I'm saying heat-sensitive, what ends up happening is the cells of the product actually shrink when we apply heat to it. Now, there's two settings that we'll use, 250 degrees Fahrenheit and 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The first 250 degrees Fahrenheit is just to get all the wrinkles out of the fabric, and then the 350 degrees will shrink it as tight as we're going to get it, and we'll set it at 350 degrees. Now if we go over 350 degrees, the aircraft, the fabric will actually start to expand again, which will lose that nice taut finish sort of thing. How we determine if we've got this set correctly after we've ironed it, we'll take a quarter and we'll set it above the fabric on a flat spot. 1 foot above it, we'll drop it, and it will hit the fabric and it will flip over once. When it flips over once, we've got it exactly the tautness that we want. That process has been used probably for the last, I'm going to say, 100 years. Of determining how tight the fabric should actually be. Still used today. So let's take it to the end of the table, and this one to the end of the table, and we're going to have some left over, which we wanted. So we got about a foot out here. Yep, yeah, we're good there. I just want to make sure that we've got enough for the end. I think what we'll do is I'm going to take a quick measurement, and then we're going to just trim off the excess on that end, and we'll use that as our guide. So I'm just going to go like this for a second. Oh yeah. Just too rough. So we got lots on this side, we got lots on this side. So I'm just going to trim along there. So we'll take this back down. Yeah, we got lots there. So we'll have plenty for overlapping.
Where'd you cut? End of the table?
Yeah, we'll just use the fold. We'll take it back. Here's what we're going to do. The easiest thing is to get this straight. So let's unfold this out completely. Now, what we want to do is use the edges to make sure that they're aligned. Okay? If these are all lined up, we know we're square. Right? So pull up. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Now, so here's what we do. We take this, and we're just going to mark it. Hold that, please. So all I'm doing is putting a crease in it that I'll be able to follow afterwards. And I don't have to do, any fancy marking out. So, now we can pull this way. And here, just pull this. Ah, there, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Okay, so Now, okay, let's fold this up so we're not.
That's your crease there.
Yeah, sure. Here's the way to do this. Just take it and do this. When you know.
Right there. Yeah, we'll do it.
There. So now we know where that is. We don't have to worry about it. And we can fold this up a little bit and get out of the pattern. So let's take it back and fold it so we've got it there. So now take that and there. Okay, now let's just bring this back to here. Just a little bit shy. Okay. Yep, just a little bit shy. That's good. Now, this one, halfway.
The guy at my bought for stuff this morning, had a sheet this
Okay, and halfway again. There. Now, let's take and fold it over like that. Now, I've got my little scissors here. I'll do this up. You guys will hold that. So, now let's pull it a little bit that way. Good. Now, if you can pull like here. There we go. That's good.
Yeah, you're just gonna try and run it through without
Yeah.
sharpening, we'll just push it through.
Try these ones, I think they're a little sharp.
You get it right. Yeah. It's all in getting the twist of your lips right. There we go. There. Okay, so this is good. Get that in. There, so we should be able to get it pretty much all on the table. No. Okay. If you use a felt pen, you'll put ink into the system, and now then you got to do something with it. This lead pencil, we can cut that off, but if you get the ink in there, it'll actually destroy what you're trying to do. So we want to avoid that if possible.
You seal the bottom, do you? The bottom gets covered.
No. No.
Bottom stays open?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, because there is a cover that goes on here,
Yeah.
and it's, if you notice, there's a spot with what they call anchor nuts in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so all we're doing is just go into here, and then this cover goes on to give the tail to the end. So that's where it goes, is to
I
that.
only need to get to here.
Yep. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm just going to start to mark. So if we can kind of hold this, and I'm going to try to give myself a couple of inches, or about an inch. So the easiest thing to do is probably,
That you know mark for you? Or?
oh yeah,
And you want what, at least like a half?
I'm going to give myself, I'm going to cut on the outside of that as I go. I'll just cut on the outside of it. When I start to cut, I can do things like this, you know, just to cheat a little bit. As long as I've got it on the outside, that's all I'm worried about. Because again, this is just rough for the moment. I don't want to shortchange myself. I want to make sure that I've got enough now.
There.
Yeah, pull that.
We need more lead. It goes fast.
So we'll just go like. Now just get up and here and there. Right. And we'll take this. The easiest thing is to leave it sit where it is and just cut on the outside. Make sure you can, and I'll cut this because I cut it a little bit short, but and then I'll trim it afterwards. So
leave an inch outside your line?
oh yeah, an inch is good. Little more is not going to hurt because it's all going to become waste at the end of it. Now, just put some, yeah, just, don't have to pull hard. Whoa. Don't pull hard, just a little tension. That'll work. As long as you're outside the line, I don't care. If you're inside the line, we're going to be probably short.
This piece we're cutting out of fabric, what's the cost?
It's about $40 a yard.
40 a yard. In what width?
60 inches.
Oh, hold on,
Now,
does it come in finer grades, heavier or lighter?
yes, this is 101.
101.
You got 101, 102, 103, and 104. 104 is the
Heavier.
lightest.
Oh, 104 is lighter.
Yep, this is the heaviest that you can get, and this is what we. This is. I challenge you to tear it.
Yeah, what's the material? What is the
Ceconite. It's called Ceconite
Well, it's
101.
Sleeknite, but what's the? It's a polyester.
It's a polyester. Heat sensitive polyester. So when you look at this is a
101.
stamp, and this is
This is for traceability.
This is traceability.
Yeah.
It's just a different name, but it's all the same
But
stuff.
Stuart, our
Yeah, but I want to go with fresh on the outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let's just flip it over. Yeah, it'll work. Now, so I think what we should do before, we better pull this out from underneath it, and we'll just kind of fold it up in a big loose fold and put it someplace where it's not going to get glue or dust on it. Perfect. So here's what we'll do, is we'll just go like this. You don't want to,
so this
get a lot.
Just
Yep.
and right down to the edge.
Yeah, we're going to turn it over after.
Yeah.
And we're going to start to go
Yeah,
about the
so we
same
just
width.
go down to the.
Yeah. So just go down to the edge.
Yeah.
We'll coat all of this. I'll just show you now. This is basically all we want to do. Okay. And when we go around it like that, we're going to let it get to the point where it's going to dry, and that's all we need to do. Okay. So with this up here. This whole area,
yeah,
I'm going to glue it, now.
So just enough to be opaque, or it's still a bit
Just get it
transparent?
wet. That's basically all we want to do, okay? Now, on these smaller ones, where it gets like this is flat, it's got not a bad
Yeah,
form
yeah,
to it, we're
yeah.
good. Now, where you can,
Here we're more on
where there's an area that you can, it's going to have something flat up, we'll just glue that up, but we don't want to do anything that's done in white.
Yeah.
That we don't, that has to be
basically
free.
follow everything that you've done.
Everything that we've done, yep. And so when it gets to this side here, what we're going to do is we're just going to bring it around to, about like what we did with the other one, okay?
On this side, Murray, you just want to go to the top piece?
We'll go, you can go down as far as you can reach to the bottom,
Okay.
and when we turn it over, then we'll finish it to the edge. But just go for what you can easily see. Set her back down. You might get a little bit of glue off of it, but I'm not going to
You're
get
sitting high on that point.
not going to get too concerned about it. Now, so what we want to do now is just not quite as wide, just maybe just the edge of the tape. Do this.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to make an
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah, I'm just finding the edge, and that's all I'm going to do, okay?
Make sure we're all the way around.
I'm not doing a spot. You can apply it from the outside.
Yeah. Yep.
It does soak through, and then you just leave it like this to dry. Now, I'll do some trimming around there. I'll just open this up a little bit to get rid of some excess. Not going to get too worried about it. So, see now, as I'm pulling, I moved it, right? So
Yeah.
here's what I can do. This will get through there. Now, let's turn it over. And then we can lay it right on top. On top. Okay, there. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, thank you. So now we'll kind of get it close to where we want it to be.
You're,
with a bit of overlap.
you got a couple inches here, but no more.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't need anything more. So let's throw a clamp or two just to basically snag it. And now what we want to do is go this end. So we're going to put a little bit of pressure on it, not a lot. Anyhow, so I'm going to pull, let's see. Okay. So, I'm just going to clamp a little bit right here for the moment. And then I'm going to rearrange it in a minute.
I'm gonna clamp one here.
Yeah, let's pull, just let's see where we're at. Make sure we're okay. Everything good? I think so. Yeah, so let's just a little, yeah, somewhere in there. Don't want to get, because we've already got lots of glue, right? So we don't need to really saturate too much. So we're going to put it on and then I'm going to wipe it off.
Just to fill the fabric.
Yeah, but
You don't need any underneath, you've already got that.
I don't want to go, as I'm using my finger as a guide, so. So, when I've done that, I want to come away and wipe it very quickly. I don't want to get a big buildup of material on there at all.
You want to fill the, I guess fill the weave.
Yep, that's all I'm doing.
doesn't
Yep,
really
with this extra on the other side, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
hold it so I've got it, but I don't want to be very careful with not slopping it into that side.
Yeah.
If I slop into that side, I want to get some water on it right away and get it off of there. I'm gonna do the whole thing.
Brush it, saturate it, and then wipe it.
Yep, so I don't want to get outside because
Yep.
the extra that I've got will get there, okay? So just put on the extra and then work it in and then we're going to wipe it off
So
after.
on this edge, we're going to
Yeah,
wrap
just
around.
but just go like
Just-
this
just
to
to
this
the-
edge,
just
to
to
this
the
edge, and then we'll come back and trim
And
it
we'll do
all
that
that
later.
afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. And don't worry about, you can work it in. Don't get too much on because you got to get rid of the extra.
Yep.
Just get enough so that it covers and you can brush it in.
Yeah.
Now I got way too much on there now, but that's all right. We'll wipe this off.
Now that,
So you got about 20 coats, 20 to 30 coats on there. You're probably going to be putting close to 10 gallons of material on a airplane, a smaller airplane than this. Now, when it dries, you're probably going to lose 70% of the weight.
Oh, yeah.
So you're down to about 3 pounds per gallon that actually stays on the airplane itself. So that's an approximate number, it's not exact, but it's pretty close.
Well, there you go. That would be a good ending to the show.
No fires. No fires.
They're no fun at all.
I know, but I don't care.
I said they are no fun.
how you doing?
I know that you want,
No, I had enough of them.
yeah, I figured you would have, to be honest, yeah.
50 years of them is enough.
Well, yeah, no kidding, eh?
45, I guess, not quite 50.
Close enough. There. So now, we'll bring that back up, the piece is falling off, what we'll do is just clamp it.
Get your 2x4 in there.
Oh, take the 2x4 out. There, so let's bring it down. We'll just bring that up and just pull it out and put a couple clamps on it for the moment. Just try to get it fairly straight. Not straight, it's not going to matter a lot. Yep.
Do the
And
final.
all we're doing is rough attachment to start with.
And that becomes an
All right, so what I'm in the process of doing here right now is just, we call minor tacking. I'm shrinking up a little bit of excess fabric that is just loose. And so by shrinking it, it just makes it easier at this point to do the final job. And so with a little bit of heat now, I've got this pretty much kind of where I want it to be. I'm going to do a little bit of tacking here and bring it down into place. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take up, some of this stuff here. I don't want to have a big, bubbles and stuff like that. So I'm just going to try and get rid of. Now what I've got underneath this is a big hunk of lead inside a metal sleeve, so it becomes a major heat sink. It's robbing the heat very quickly from the iron.
Oh, there's lead in there. That's to give it mass?
It gives it mass, what they call mass balance.
Yeah.
This section from here to here is called aerodynamic balance.
Yeah.
And then to stop it from fluttering,
They put the mass in.
Put the mass in.
Yep.
Now, I don't want to get too rambunctious with that. I just want to have it so that I've just got it there. Now, I think what I'll do, I'll do a couple of touches. I just want to touch a couple of spots here right now. So when I get down to that a little bit, I'm not going to get too concerned about it because I'm going to end up covering that with other cloth. So I'm just not going to get excited. So I'm just making this sticky. I don't want to get it beyond too much. Once I get this kind of attached like I'm working on here right now, I'm going to go around the whole thing and do what I'm doing here.
But that is into its final position.
It's in a pretty much, because then I'll come and I'll trim this all off here. I'm not worried about this side yet.
That's still okay.
Oh, you got to have a place to start. And with this at first you go, oh man, this is a mess. It's all over the place. Nothing fits, nothing sticks, nothing's doing what it's supposed to. Then all of a sudden it kind of starts to come together for you. This is what I've been looking for. Bring this down a little bit
Towards
more.
you, or
Yeah,
overhanging a bit?
just a wee bit. Just makes it easier to get the iron on it. Oop. So I want just a wee bit so I can pull it, but I don't want to get a lot of extra. And now, because this is loose, I'm only going to do this, wrap this quarter of it. If I don't want to go underneath, and we've got to shrink it now, and then we're going to lay out our measurements of where everything's going to be. So there's a whole bunch of issues of where stuff is going to be. So we want to get that shrunk to the tautness that we want, and then we'll go from there and start laying on our reinforcing tapes, getting ready to do our rib stitching, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if we'll get to do rib stitching today, but we might get close to it.
It's tight enough that the fabric is positioned.
Yeah, because this will move.
It will be.
Yeah, like if I take the iron right now and I set it in the center, it will draw everything the wrong ways. And so what we need to do is
Gradual.
Yeah, we're just gonna start and shrink up a bunch, take it all in. We'll take all these wrinkles and all that kind of stuff out of it. Do the flip side. Once we get to the tautness we want, we'll check everything. And so this one's going to be quite an involved process.